Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Deep Thoughts. And today, Fruits Basket Episode 8, See You When You Get Back. Without further ado, we're going to go ahead and dive right into this. No more stalling. Let's just go ahead and talk about this week's episode, which is, at the very least, much more chill than last week's, but yeah, let's go ahead and dive into it. So I'm not gonna lie, this episode focusing on New Year's gets me all kinds of excited. Honestly, any talk of New Year's gets me all kind of excited. If you don't know, in 2020, I'm planning on taking some time away from work so that I can focus solely on the YouTube channel. It's not at a place where it can really sustain me financially, so I'll be taking a big risk. But yeah, at the start of 2020, maybe a little bit after January, because January is kind of a dry season for YouTube, but still, at the start of 2020, I'm going to be taking this full time. So any talk of New Year's or 2020, it just gets me all excited. So the whole episode focusing around like New Year's, it's like, yeah, I can't wait for the New Year. I was like, yeah, me too. I'm excited too. But anyway, I'm sorry. I don't know. Any talk of New Year's just gets me all excited. So the fact that the whole episode was about that, it was almost like the episode was playing right to me. It's just like, we know you're also excited. We see you, JoJo. You could be excited all you want. And I was like, oh, well, okay, I will be then. But even though some things change when a new year rolls around, some things never will, and one of those things is that Tohru is the sweetest angel of them all. I genuinely wish I could show such joy when I clean up. But like, Tohru cleans with the same passion and excitement that I play video games and watch anime. Like, the way she's like zooming across like the patio or whatever you would call it, just cleaning up. And like, she's all excited and she's happy to be cleaning with her friends. Like, I wish I could do my spring cleaning with and I mean, mind you, it's New Year's, so it's more like her winter cleaning. Anyway, I wish I could do my spring cleaning with half of the same joy that Tohru does. Cause like, I'm still doing the spring cleaning around my room. I haven't even and there's like, I barely sorted out my wardrobe. There's stuff that I'm still dreading to work on. And we're already pretty well into spring and I'm still putting stuff off. Like, Tohru, bless Tohru. Tohru, if you want to come clean, like my place too, that'd be swell. And the one thing about the episode that kind of got me to chuckle was when they were like, we're going to the Soma estate for New Year's. It's like we're doing this big New Year's festival. It's very important. And all the Somas have to be there, especially those involved in the whole Zodiac thing. It's super important. And the boys were both like, no, I don't want to go. I was like, good. I see the boys dislike Akito as much as I do. Good lads. Well, Kyo just wants to avoid Kagura's beatdown, but, still, I'm sure he's not a big Akito fan either. Although I will say that clearly Akito's, like, the hatred of Akito is solely a Yuki thing. It seems like Kyo just didn't want to go because of Kagura, which kind of makes me feel bad for Kagura. But Akito, I feel bad for Kagura. Kagura is a sweet girl. She just wants Kyo to like her. Whereas Akito, who cares? Well, probably fans. Fans probably care because they know him better than I do and probably know why he's a basket case right now. But as for me, I don't care if Akito feels bad. At least currently, I don't really feel bad. I'm sure in the future, once I know what makes Akito tick as a character, I'll sort of understand why he is the way he is, and then I'll feel bad that Yuki didn't show up. But for now, I'm just too proud of Yuki and Kyo to really be mad. But that's jumping ahead a little bit, because I did genuinely assume that that Tohru would be sort of out of the show for like an episode or two. I actually thought like the next like little arc would be all about the Somas and like handling this whole like Zodiac feast and all this stuff. Like, I genuinely thought they were gonna leave her there. And so when he said that line, like Yuki leaving, like he stops for a second and he holds like he holds the door open for like just a brief second and thinks like, I'm sure she'll be okay. All I could think of and all I wrote down in my notes was just, she damn well better be. I'll blame you, Yuki, if this gets jinxed. And luckily it didn't, because we have the legend of Saki. Now I want sake, damn. But Saki, the legend, good vibes to her, or good waves, I guess, because she basically comes in for the rescue, just saying, pretty much what all of us were probably thinking, which is, she's putting up a front, right? Like, she's very clearly gonna be upset when everybody else is spending like their New Year's with other people. I almost said Valentine's Day. When everyone else is spending their New Year's with their family, Tohru's family is gone, and the family she does have just left her to go to some Soma family gathering. I love that, like, during the whole chase scene, or I guess not chase scene, but the whole running scene of the boys like running home, back to Tohru. We get Kyo and Yuki's inner monologue, and they just think the same thing about Tohru that the audience thinks. Like, she is the sweetest, she is so great, she is putting up a front, like, she is just trying to be nice to everyone else, but, like, she just, like, meanwhile, the weight of the world is on the poor girl's shoulders. Like, Tohru is just, even in the world of the show, people are like, she is a saint. Like, she is way better than this world deserves. And good lads, so proud of Kyo and Yuki, like, making it back home, back to the rescue, just in time before Tohru really started crying. Because you could see it was building up, but then just before she could cry, the boys made it, like, right in, like, just in time. And I gotta say, as much as I enjoy the quote-unquote triangle, and it to me, I don't want to say who I ship quite yet, but I will say, because maybe this could change in the future, but currently, my ship is Kyo with Kagura, Yuki with Tohru. But that could change. It's just the fact that Tohru is the one who has the thought of, like, I'm sure she'll be fine, and Yuki has the thought of, like, I'm sure she'll be fine, and Yuki's the one who, like, runs to Tohru and, like, wipes the tear from her. Like, I don't know. It just seems like Yuki is the one who is, like, crushing hardest on Tohru. Like, it's clear that Kyo is also crushing on Tohru, but I think that Yuki's crushing harder. I don't think Tohru's realized that either boy is really crushing on her. I'm sure she just sees the boys as, like, really, really close friends at the moment. But to me, it seems like if she's gonna end up with one or the other, it's probably gonna be Yuki. Maybe she ends up with neither. Maybe they all just stay friends, but to me, that's what I ship currently. And I don't know, Kagura and Kyo they seem cute together. I don't know, it's just, I ship it more. But I don't want to talk about shipping too much, because shipping involves an interesting comment section, and I don't want to bring that on, and I don't want any manga fans to spoil me, because that has happened not on Fruits Basket, but on other shows. When I start talking about ships, they're like, well, that's not Endgame, and this is Endgame, so screw you, so don't tell me, please. The only other things I can really think to say in regards to this episode are twofold. Actually, threefold. The first being, I'm sensing major repercussions for Kyo and Yuki not showing up. I feel like that's something that Akito is gonna have, like, on his shoulder, like a big chip on his shoulder towards Tohru for like probably the remainder of this first season, possibly into next season, because, like, that seemed like it was a much bigger, like, it seemed like a much bigger deal than those three realized, and it seemed like a big deal in regards to the Somas, because the new character, I may be pronouncing this incorrectly, but is his name Ha? Because all they called him was Ha-kun. And I was like, is his name Ha? Like, as in Ha-ha? Is that his name? Comment section, that's the one thing you can correct me on. Please tell me if that can't be his name. His name isn't Ha. Is it Ha? Anyway, the dude looks cool, and I like that he seems to be the most chill of the Somas. He is much chiller than the rest of them. The rest of them have some sort of baggage, or, like, they're like eccentric in some way, whereas he just seems like a chill dude, and he just looks cool. But yeah, I think he was the one that stood out to me the most as, like, the chillest of the Somas so far. I could be wrong about that, but that's just how he comes off to me. And the third point I wanted to end today's video on is Shigure's smug death stare at Akito, like, you brought this on yourself. It's good to see you wallowing in it. I was like, whoa. But the way he said it was, like, sinister almost. I was like, whoa, Shigure, my husbando, but he knows what's good. He knows what's good. He's Team Tohru. He's Team Tohru all the way. But, like, it shook me, because I was like, whoa, I thought you were, like, Captain Make Akito Feel Better. Like, it just, I don't know, like, it was a sudden shift in his character that I was like, whoa, Shigure does that. Like, he does that thing where he's all goofy on the outside. He kind of reminds me of, like, I'm almost concerned, because I was like, he sort of reminds me of a couple characters who are, like, low-key have, like, a dark side. And I'm like, is Shigure, like, a villain? Like, is Shigure gonna go dark side on me? I'm not against that, because he's still my husbando either way. It's just like, whoa, he really does have a dark side, and I kind of dig that. Yeah, anyway, I'm gonna wrap up today's episode. I think, and I meant to give a rating to JoJo's, because if you don't know, I record these both on the same day, and I forgot to give a rating to JoJo's. I want to start giving ratings at the end of the episode reviews. I gave a rating in my most recent Mortal Kombat video, which, by the way, if you haven't checked that out, I'd appreciate it if you go check out the Mortal Kombat 11 video. It would make me feel super good, even if it just gets like half the amount of views as something like the Attack on Titan videos or the Kimetsu no Yaiba videos, which I think they usually get like 500 views. So if that video gets like 250 views, I'll feel happy about that. At the end of the Mortal Kombat video, I gave a rating, and I gave it sort of like a school grade, like I was grading it, like I was grading a test or something. So if I had to give this episode a grade, I would give this episode a solid A-. Now, if this episode was preceded by another sort of fluffy episode, it would have been like a B+. But the fact that we really needed this episode as sort of a palate cleanser and a breather after last week's chaos and emotions, I have to give it an A-. They knew exactly what episode to put out this week, and they really, really nailed it. I feel comfortable with an A-. But yeah, everybody, that's going to wrap up today's video, so I hope you enjoyed. If you did, then by all means, hitting that like button and sharing the video around on the internet, that would be super rad of you. And if you'd like to stick around, check out more videos from me, then by all means, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and ring that bell to join the good ones. And as always, before we go, I have to give a big, big shout out to the good folks over on Patreon, namely those in the Earl Grey tier: Omner Garamond, Veridin, Tristan, No For Nothing, Urza, Evil, Caden Fate, Gabriel, Dominic, Sipco Games, Opinionated Slime, and Maria Teresa. Thank you all so much for supporting me over on Patreon, and if you too would like to join the T-Squad, then by all means go ahead and check out the link in the description over to our Patreon. I just hit my keyboard because that's how excited I am about it. But yeah, everybody, once again, thank you all so much for watching today's video, and until our next meeting, stay rad and don't scary.